Crash Twitch. Okay, Twitch looks fine. Oh, I didn't. Application. Monitor chat. Chatty. This is a cool application. That's not sure. Well, I didn't do all that much research. I just googled and something related to streaming, chat, monitoring, so on, and got this as my first suggestion. So, right. Okay, I'm back to this. But yeah, one thing I remembered, which is I'm not sure how important that actually is, but classifiers. About classifiers. Classifiers usually have their names like this. Logging, debug, this is a classifier. So if I go to the definition, yeah, you see it's just a bunch of values. And it's not even in a class, just in a package. This works, I guess. I group them into classes. Well, but the point is that classifiers usually have their variable name in all caps. So that's how you know that that value is actually a static value used as a classifier. So I should do the same with mine, even though the value itself, like well, the values, like are whatever. I think it's Shift R, rename, yeah, and camel case. Yeah, this changes. Well, I want all uppercase. Let's see. I think there is a combination of keys. Factoring. Replace with. Oh no, this is. I'm pretty sure there is a thing, a keyboard shortcut or something. Yeah, but this is all about history. Okay, let's see. Maybe in the menu we can find something. Edit. Replace. Coding. Refactoring. Find all. Override. Generate. This seems promising. Collapse, uncollapse, organize format. Oh, no, comment on comment, okay. I saw U and thought uppercase, yes. Sadly, that's not the case. Okay, let's look for case. It's not JavaScript specific. I'm sure there is. Okay, I need to Google this. Oh yeah, my machine crashed, by the way, so my Windows, all of my Windows got closed with all of my tabs. I'm not sure why it crashed, but Eclipse all uppercase. Control Shift Y changes to lowercase Control Shift X. So Control Shift X allegedly will change. Oh, it did. Okay. So let's go to rename to this. Oh, it doesn't work here. Okay. Copy it. It has to be done lazy way. I can't be. I can't write code that's already written. And these keyboard shortcuts are a bit of much. New bot menu. Control Shift X or Control C to copy. Control Z to undo. Alt Shift R to rename. Control V. I'm not sure I'm saving that many keystrokes. Well, with this one I think I will. So uppercase, copy, undo, rename, paste. Okay. Because I need to do it this way because all the references to them will be updated as well. So you see these lines have been changed, and as well automatically places that reference that have been changed as well. So that's cool. Get start menu. Where did I use start menu? In the main file? Look to be changed. What? Did they just name it for the fun of it? Okay, let's there is what's it? Throw in factoring. I don't remember. I don't really use this all that much. But there is a feature that lets you get all the references. Not sure if that's compare with PyDev code analysis. I don't want to know that feature. Source. Go to next, organize, row, quick outline, collapse and collapse code. It should be find definitions or something like that. Or find references. Search. Quick search. So this is search functions as well. Yeah, I have to Google this as well because it is kind of necessary to know. Eclipse. Find all references. Blah blah blah. Reference for all public methods of a class in Eclipse. Control A, Alt H. Control H. Okay. Okay, so here it is. So it's reference in menu. Oh. Oh, it is referenced at the same spot. Okay. That is a cool feature. Okay, I need to remember Control L H. It is a search function, yes. As I said. Right. Okay, this has been rectified. Classifiers are all uppercase. Title, well, things like these are ID. What the hell? Oh, so it gets translation and it uses the field like this. ID, yeah, this is the name, the lowest level in the dictionary is the key of in the lowest level of dictionary. Okay. Guess that's fine. Well, I don't really want to have them just be here, defined like this. I'm pretty sure it's only used once. It should be used only once. But I think I need another classifier for this, because let's just have one for the fun of it. I already made one. Menu fields. So this will be just standard fields, the menu you would expect menu to have. So title, title ID. I think it's kind of obvious. Well, it's not really an ID, it's just a string. So let's do Alt-Shift-X. Yep, title is a string. Full title. Amazing. So this line can be here. Instead I use maybe I should change the sim part. This should work. Hopefully. Wild part. Oh, menu field is not used. Okay, so that's why it's complaining about that. Okay, I will use it shortly. So as name it new menu fields. Plural. That's a new word I learned. Plural. Menu fields. Dot title. Right. And no more complaints. Everything's being used. Let's have it like this. Because there will be other classifiers that menu won't need. And just to avoid classes, I thought I used something from classes. Oh, I guess I import everything I need. There isn't much of anything else. Are you okay? Delete it. I would like to have no warnings of any kind. So let's deal with them as I see them. Right. So start menu. Alright, oh yeah, I was looking editing initialization. So this description. This uppercase string, the value is the same. Deleted. Description now is as fields description. The last one, list title. Oh, name and list is another one. Fields. Yeah, I guess name and list is another one that I need to do. Okay, let's finish with this. Equal thing. Let's mess that up. Title. Fields. Title. List title. Right. Okay, now this looks a lot better, in my opinion. So, knows that this is a classifier, like, well, a static value. Right, basic. This components, yeah, this, I'll get back to this. Back to this. Yeah, I'll get back to this a little bit later. I guess I should have done it now. Yeah, I should do this now. Damn it. But I guess I will have to do this tomorrow morning. Since I already decided to make a menu first. Do I want buttons in the start menu? Probably not. Like, there isn't much. Well, I guess you can have the options listed as buttons. So it could be, but yeah, it doesn't have the usual buttons like back or cancel or save or delete. Right. Yeah. Menu. Okay, I'm doing the language. So all of this does menu item IDs passes along a dictionary, which I don't think is needed here. Takes messages, that's doesn't look like it's used anywhere. Yeah, it's not even passed along to anything. Yeah, it's all about the context, and the actual translations are coming from the singleton. Now all the definitions are wrong, so yeah, messages. Here. Here. Did it need messages? I don't think it did. Yeah, it uses labels. So anything that consumed messages is... Well, basic setup definitely didn't need them, because that's where I deleted them from. Okay. I guess we're slowly tidying this code up. Yeah. Assignment to reserve built-in symbol ID. What could it be? What kind of ID is this? Oh, menu ID? Yeah. So we initialize a language menu. Pass along. Let's see, how is it actually initialized? We go to the mapping, language selection. So, wait, how does it actually map? I don't remember. Oh, so it maps by the menu, language selection menu, bots. Language selection. Yeah, so this is no longer a thing. These bot menus. Are these things here? Translation. Oh yeah, the language, yeah, it is a little, has a special case where it doesn't load translations the same way because it, well, each language doesn't have a string for each separate language. Yeah, that will be different. Okay, new bot is as menus. Bot menu. Imagine this is this I meant. We'll see. Language selection is here. So yeah, this will be called, which initializes the menu, and it doesn't pass along any values. And okay, so I guess I need to decide how I want to do this. I don't really need to do anything else. I guess it should define not list bots, not that language menu. Yeah, should have some methods defined. So the validation. Doesn't it have, I think it should have a standard validation, which could be overwritten. Like each menu should check if the input is valid. Well, in a sense, where if I give 3 options and a user decides to pick a 4th option, or just enters gibberish, yeah. I think it would be good to have a general input checker for all menus. So some default behavior, which just verifies that the actual message is one of the options, and this could be done in the menu. Basic setup, component show, handle, input. I guess, yeah, you should first check if text is okay. So it checks if the input is one of the options, and if it's not, it just returns itself. Also, it basically does nothing. It prints out the same thing again, which may or may not be useful. How can I improve on this? I think I need some error or warning output that the input is incorrect, because now this approach is not really all that useful, just returning the same thing again. So okay, if I understand it correctly, let's run. Did run. Hopefully it won't crash. Here, operation bot. Oh, it can't connect to the database. I forgot about that. Fine. Again. The same thing, and now, okay, now it complains because I removed some of the parameters without actually checking. Right, so this calls and gives messages, which is useless. So we'll do that. And after that, it gives messages anywhere. handle input. Handle input uses messages. Doesn't, right? Takes message, not messages. Oh yeah, this is a message. Okay. Did I mess something up? Oh yeah, I did. It wasn't messages, it was message. That naming. Message and messages are two completely different things. Not even, well, yeah, not even related. Well, only by the sole fact that they are both used in the same, well, as variables in the same application, but otherwise, yeah, not really related. So, okay, so that looks fine so far. And what's the actual complaint? Get start menu. It only passes along the user. Why is it accessing the user like, oh yeah, the context is not set up yet. I should make a data class for user context. Oh, not today. Something to be done in the future. I guess I should start him like, okay, come here. Current menu. User context, right? Where does it originate from? Handle user message. Guess it should be somewhere around here. And this user context comes get user data. Right. A comment. Well, a to do. Return data class. The class be returned by this method. So at least I have some recollection of what I need to do. So I have quite a few tasks at this point. Yeah, button related stuff. Data classes. Read all translation files into dictionary. Translations. Why? Because it's already done. No translations instead of retranslations. I guess I was. Okay. I'm pretty sure it hasn't been used anywhere. Don't initialize config parser anywhere. Guess I don't. Okay. Oh, that's that case. Right. Next to do, return tuple with content as text and components for buttons. Oh yeah, this is to do with buttons as well. Oh, these are much same spot. Okay. So I'll remember that I have something to do with data class. Oh yeah, so user context as a data class as well. But for now, let's just ignore that. Go back to what actually makes it crash and complains that init takes 4 elements and 5 were given. When I call this, okay, so menu takes 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 were given, so it has an extra labels. It doesn't actually need labels. this is it. Now I can actually test. Can. So the thing is, if I select 5 places, I have to enable numpad. So it returns the same menu because it just failed to map it to anything, any option. So instead of that, I would like to have, I'm not even sure where. It should be either at the very top of the message or at the very end. I don't think in the middle would be a good spot. Also, I don't like the formatting, like this gap doesn't really make much sense. Maybe it does. Separates the menu. Maybe before this. Okay. How should I do this? Well, I guess I have fields. I can add a new field. If I make it like very general, so any menu can get this. I guess each menu can define its own. Actually work like I want. Currently defaults, if it doesn't find the label you want, it defaults to a name, this field name, which was, well, with a strike through. And I kind of wanted to default to the specific option. Let's see, singleton translations. I think it should be in the little translations in the languages. So yeah, now it does it a very simple way. It works kinda in a very simple way, no straightforward way. How do I actually get some custom behavior in those odd cases? Like with language. Or with an error that will be, I want to be the same in most menus. Don't want to be specific. Sure. I guess either approach could work. Like, there are so many ways to implement this. But which one would be most well, easiest to maintain, understand, and like after a year, if I need to come back to this code, how obvious it would be what it's doing. I don't want to start making complex if trees and so on. I would rather have something in the context. So yeah, in the menu context, I would have generic error, like a fallback. But it's not really a fallback, it's not really... I guess I just need a method that returns that generic string. So basic setup, basic error, something like that. So if yeah, error handling is an odd thing I didn't think about too much just yet. Well, user input error, I mean, or configuration error and things like that. How do I present an error? Well, I know how I do it right now, which I guess works, because I print it out in red, which is fine, I guess. Sure, does the actual give me behaves the same way, but if I try to do a bot, and let's something that actually gets validated. Webhooks, set language, enter. Okay. What? Supposed to validate this? Oh, it will validate when I save it. Okay, so try to save the it prints out errors like this. It could be a good way to use up this empty space here. Okay. I want menu to check if it has any errors, because well, something doesn't make sense. I think it is a good call, well, a good fallback to just throw the same menu again and let them choose again, but I need a way to convey that something needs to be fixed. Yeah, so yeah, this will work. Oh, okay, let's time to actually try and do this. So does it get options, title, description? One of these would be changed. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Get options title. So before options title, right. So here I want to insert that piece of text. Right. So user context should have not user menu context. Wanted to have errors, or maybe one error. Oh, it should be an array of errors. How would it look in a different menu? Because for this one it looks fine, but like in this one I don't really expect people to mess up putting in 1, 2, or 3. But there are like more complicated menus like this. I guess it would look fine, like having an error message between these two lines instead of printing it out as a separate message. So if you select an option, well, that fails to validate your inputs, instead of this error, you would get the same menu again, except would have all of these errors inserted in between. So I guess you need I need an array. I can't use one error, so this should be an array. Now the structure of the error. I guess just having a simple message is fine. Yeah. Right. So list is none by default. Errors. Okay. Now when I got options list, options title. Okay, options title. Now I check if the context. Okay. So if self and menus context has errors, is not done, I will start. So okay, so the string should start as this. Options title. So title equals line character to begin with, so I can remove this. Title. So this will return the same. Oh, no. Yeah, title plus. So it. Oh. Kind of works the same as concatenate, but I remember that using plus like this is incorrect, and don't really remember now why exactly. I just know it's incorrect. So maybe, yeah, let's try constructing it with using concat. Title. Oh. Wait, it doesn't have concat? I think I'm thinking about Java again. Java. Let's look at the documentation from my bookmarks. Oof. Here are my bookmarks. Documentation. Python documentation. Language library. Where will the strings be? Literals. String. Doesn't have anything here. str. String, okay. Formatting. Yeah, there's a lot to learn about strings. Format examples. Yeah, format is a very useful function. Template string. What is template string? Oh, it's with these. Isn't it? Oh no, this is just indicates an empty dictionary. Template string provides simpler string substitution as described. One use case for template strings is for internationalization. It's in that context, it's simple syntax and functionality makes it easier to translate than other built-in string formatting facilities. Okay. Oh, so $sign. A single $sign. So $sign identifier. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is internationally like that. This is not working. Like I tried implementing this. Yeah, it's just a bad idea. It kind of thinks. Well, it works like on a global scope, which is, well, becomes an issue when you need multiple languages to be used at the same time. Which it doesn't really think it's a join. Oh. The word split, capitalize, and join capitalized words using. Oh, I don't think it means that. Capitalized. Okay, so string which is the concatenation of the string iterable will be raised if there are. Oh, so I can join multiple same time. Okay, well. Type error. any non-string value in iterable, including byte object. Yeah, so everything has to be the string. The separator between elements is the string providing this what? The separator between elements is the string providing this method. Separator between elements is the string providing this method. Oh, so this whatever string, so this not just joins them, it joins them and inserts something in between. So we can join a bunch of, like a list. Oh. Okay, I guess that's cool. Hey, hello. Afro. Don't remember you seeing, well, I think it's first time seeing you here. How did you find me? And what are you looking for? If you don't mind me asking. Could you assist me with my Python assignment? Sure. Well, I can assist you in the sense that I can verbally explain stuff. Maybe show a simple example. Looking for help with Python. Well, I'm not a Python guru by any means, but sure, I'm down to share my knowledge. What kind of assignment is that? Context, title, errors. Can you post a program? Well, you can try. I'm not sure if that's gonna work. Nightbot might be upset with you. Errors. That's a lot of code. Yeah, it doesn't even fit everything. Welcome to the Creamery. Okay. Don't you have a web page or something? Are you writing this down from a from a textbook? Ice cream list. Yeah, so you have a list of ice cream. You have so you change the fourth element to blueberry crunch. This is your code, okay. So what's the issue? And then you extend the list. Berry, strawberry, okay. And elements, so now you count how many ice creams do you have in your list. And, well, let's count them. Well, you actually added only one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you added one, so you would expect 7. And then you sort it. I can't scroll this. I guess I can look it here. I need to input customer size and price, and have the input match the dictionaries. Custom sizes. So I guess how many? What do you mean by sizes? I don't really understand. Well, I guess I didn't read it to the end. So there are prices as well. Oh, so this continues. You know what? I like solving puzzles. This looks like a puzzle. I enjoy this. Give me a second. I'll create a file and I'll run your code. Actually have I don't really want to open other projects. Let's make a new file here. It's new file cheating.py. That's hey, thank you for the follow, Jeff Bezos. Hey, thank you for the follow as well. Give me a second. Let me print. This is where it starts. Is this. Another one is this. Counter equals this. It doesn't like the end. Yeah, this is all Shift F. Has errors. Print. Oh, it just doesn't like. Okay. Won't it format for me? A second. Source format code. Doesn't. Oh, it's just so lame. Okay, I guess I'll just do it by hand. See this. Ice cream. Elements. I'm just guessing how this goes. In print stuff. This is assignment. This, assign this, assign that. Oh, this is a. Oh yeah, I guess it works. My bad. One. Customer size, customer input. Okay, I have everything more or less. Oh yeah, this is a new line. Right. So you need to input. So how do you read inputs? I imagine there is a function that takes input from the console. I don't really remember how it looks. It should be in your textbook, or whoever gave you an assignment should have given you an example how to read inputs. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter all that much. So we declare a bunch of things. Customer size. Oh, please enter the size, font size. You don't understand it. Actually, I don't remember myself. I don't use console for interaction myself. Let's go and take a look. Documentation. Let's see, read. Should be in somewhere in the OOS IO. Basically, I need to enter a size and flavor number, and I need to have it print out the dictionary value matching that. Yeah, that's trivial. I just need to remember how to read values from the console. I don't. Well, you don't do stuff like that in writing applications. It's such a basic thing that I don't. Okay, give me a second. Python reading input from std. Okay. As an example, print rest strip. Is this right? That doesn't sound right. I'm asking the wrong question. Reading input from console. Okay. Taking it from console. An output input. Just like this. Is it actually like that? Let's see. Put. Okay, let's assign this to a variable. A. It actually works like this? Oh, it doesn't. Okay. Run as. Oh. Oh, you use input. Oh, it all works. Okay, so my bad. I'm blind. I don't use input. Like, input is something like totally unfamiliar for me. But yeah, this looks so good. Yeah, so now you have the size, customer size. Oh, small. Okay, small, medium, or large. Okay, so you have a dictionary. So yeah, you basically have a bunch of dictionaries, and here you have a list. So that's, I guess, the basic concept they're trying to teach you. Point of this whole thing. is yeah, so this is a list and these are dictionaries. So you operate with them a little bit differently. So if I put in S and 5, I need to print out those exact values, but I don't know how. Yeah, so S and 5. So you choose sizing first. Oh, cone size and cone prices. So you have two dictionaries for that. Okay. Smallish. Okay. Yeah, I like the definitions of the the actual values. Okay, these are quite funny. So not really sure what's the problem, because well, how you do this, you just use print, and to print out so let's say with cone price. Well, I guess it would be more interesting if you can enter the quantity if you want to buy more than one ice cream, but I guess you can just, well, okay, that's it's probably not the point of the so yeah, print, and since cone prices, why do you have dictionaries? Oh, you want the price, I guess, will be for each flavor. Oh, this is, does this do? Do I need to use an if statement? I don't think you need any if statements at this point. I think you just need to print out the values, because you all have everything you need. So this customer size, so this supposed to pick out value from this dictionary. So how do you access dictionary values? Is very easy. You have dictionary, and well, I guess it's counterintuitive that you need to access dictionaries that are defined with these curly brackets. You use square brackets to access a value. So whatever was the input, so put size. So yeah, and well, I guess if you want to have some nice formatting, okay, I won't show anything complicated. Like, so a very basic way to construct a string is like this. And yeah, you selected serving size, this. So now, if you run this, I will be the one running this. So now if I select, let's say, S, oh, and this doesn't really matter, flavor of the month, oh, flavor number, it lists a number of, oh, so that's what this does, okay. Right, a 5, yeah, 5, oh, whatever, doesn't really matter. See, this is how it, well, this is how you actually access the values in your dictionary. So it says your selected serving size is smallish. So, and to do the same for the dictionary, for the flavor, selected flavor. I don't even know how to spell flavor. What if you put in lowercase s? It won't match, because you actually, well, it is very specific. You use uppercase here, so that is very important. If you want to be able to input any type of value, you need to prepare it in advance. So there is a method that you can call on the input. Since you know this is well, all inputs will be strings. So yeah, give me I will show you how it's not. So you need to call a method on string. Well, at least that's how I would do it. I imagine there are like other ways, but this is one of, well, it is a simple way to do this. So whenever you use, I guess, well, there are two options. Either here you call uppercase, I think. Yeah. So what this function will do, so basically how it works, so basically your input, this thing, it asks for, well, it prints out this and waits for a person to enter something into the console. And on that result, the result will be a string. So if you look at the definition of this method, prompt string, blah blah blah, where is it, returns type, read a string, doesn't even say what's the return type. Okay, well, doesn't really matter. So yeah, you return that string. So before, you can either use it here or use it here when you actually try to upper. So well, since you have, if you want to, well, I think it's lower. Yeah, it has the same method, lower, to make it lowercase. So yeah, now it won't be case sensitive. There's selected flavor. How does flavor? Okay. English is not my first language, so you know. All the other things that come to that, keep in mind. I'm not dumb, I swear. So cone sizes, yeah, you do the same. Upper, well, I guess you don't have to do it both times, but you have to do it at least somewhere. You need to Python. Yeah, I can tell. Well, I kind of well, if you're interested in programming in general, I think well, my streams are kind of geared towards that, but maybe, well, yeah, well, everyone starts somewhere. So you know, I learned Python by myself, like I'm a self-learner, because I actually, well, my development career, I definitely didn't interest him. So I have a project working on. Well, really quickly before you go, I'll explain what I'm actually working on. Well, not currently, because currently what I'm working on is not all that interesting. Like it's an application I made. It's very complicated. It has lots of parts and so on. Like I don't want to advertise that. But what I plan on doing is, over the next week I will publish a project, open source project. I will start an open source project, and then basically when we decide of what kind of project we want to make, I will start making themed streams where I show, well, I go through all the principles, I investigate how that application functions, I'll investigate what other applications are made. Basically, we'll go through the whole design process of a normal application, like it should be done in real world when you write real applications, not whatever this is. Like, this is an exercise at best, but yeah, it's so okay, I don't want to bash it because I've done it. Like, there is well, the application I'm currently working on, this is baby work. This is bad practice. Like, this is what you should never do. You should never do it like this. So that's the issue I'm having, because I have an application that I've written in this style. Like, when I was very new to Python, I actually wrote a whole application. Like, what I'm currently rewriting is an old application like I made. So this main file, so this is one file, is the whole application, and it looks like this. It's like, it's a mess. It's full of string variables, like you did in here. I put it into the dictionaries with specific keys, and then I need to remember. I use like magic numbers everywhere that have specific meanings. Like, it's terrible. It's unmaintainable. So that's, and it's still and it is still running. People are still using it. Like, if you look at my where's my Discord. Like, there's like, what, 960 people in my Discord who came to use this bot, and this is the bot I'm showing, and that spaghetti code, this is called spaghetti code because it's complete mess. Yeah, that's a lot of work that I will have to stroke. I'm doing cybersecurity, but they are making me take Python programming. Oh, you're actually studying cybersecurity. Ooh, that's really cool. We didn't really have subjects like that when I was studying in university. Yeah, so my subject was information systems engineering, something like that, or design engineering. I don't know. Well, the name was in Lithuanian because I was studying in Lithuanian. So in English, I'm not really sure how to say it. I got lazy with Python, so I'm starting to learn it now. Got motivated. Yeah, Python is kind of cool. Well, Python. Benefit of Python, like if you're not planning on being a developer, you just want to learn something that you would be able to write a script if you need it, like if you need to automate something. I think Python is one of the better choices because it's so easy to code. It doesn't require an advanced knowledge in like classes or anything. It gives you so much freedom. Like you can write a mess like this, which is terrible. Like you look at this method, extend bot, and look at how much code, how many ifs and whatever is going on. Like if you need to change something here, like it would be mad. Like you have strings like this. Like why? What's happening here? Well, I guess match is matching a regular expression. Oh yeah, what is re? Oh, it's like it is horrible. But you can do it in Python, and it will work, and it still works. It's been working for years. Like people have been complaining that it's not really convenient in some cases, but it does work. Well, I guess that's why I'm rewriting it, because now I need to actually, if I want to extend its functionality, like I just can't bear. Like yeah, this is not this is not how it should be done. So this reminds me of that a lot, because yeah, it was written in this style. It was like written like a prototype. So just make it work, and that's it. So yeah, so what I plan on doing, I got a question about the assignment. How would you put the prices? Prices are easy. Well, it's the same way, because well, the key thing that this is a dictionary and this is a list. So cone sizes, well, actually flavors will be a bit odd. Wait, what do you do with flavors? Cone prices, why is it in the... Yeah, this shouldn't be here, because it doesn't make sense. Each time you go over elements. Oh, you want to have prices, different prices for each flavor and each size. Oh, okay, so this won't work how you made it. Like the way you set it up, it won't work. It has to have cone prices are... Yeah, it's basically it's assigning the same dictionary over and over again to the same variable. So how you would do this? Well, a better way to do this. No, just for a size, so you don't want each flavor to have different prices for different sizes? Because I think, looking at this, I think that's what you were trying to do. But looking at this line, well, it seems you don't really care what flavor it is. All flavors cost the same. So that's the difference. Well, it would be different how you actually go, because this won't work. Like if you want to have different prices for different flavors, well, I guess it assigns the same anyways. So I guess it doesn't, okay, it doesn't make sense. Unless you would have to, well, yeah. Size equals price and number picked up equals flavor. Oh, so you want, okay. Yeah, so, well, then the thing is, well, it's the same completely, except you use the same variable for the size, but it's just the name of the dictionary is different. Price. Pasting is hard. Selected. serving size price. Or just price. Or make it align nicely. Yeah. And your selected flavor. Flavors actually are a bit different because they are stored in a list. And yeah, you would want, well, it would be a lot easier if you defined it as a dictionary, because so what, counter one, so you assign a number, but you need to remember that lists are 0 indexed. So if I set small, I would need it to say 150, and if I picked 5, I would say a flavor. What? Oh, okay. So yeah, okay, that's right. It has to be in the, okay, if it has to be in the list, you need to keep in mind that lists are 0 indexed. So this element is not the first element. This is the element number 0. This is the first element, and so on. So if the flavors have to be in the list, I guess that's fine. That's why so that's the point of the exercise. So lists are actually accessed a little bit differently. Well, actually not. Now that I actually think about it, actually they are accessed the same way. So selected flavor would be, where is your list? Ice cream list. And now you have to convert, like, so there is a casting or whatever, I don't know, like Python terminology is a little bit odd in what's its name? In Java we call it casting, so it's when you convert one type of variable into another type, because this customer price, oh yeah, it doesn't have to be upper because it will be a number. Well, at least we expect it to be a number. If it's not a number, then yeah, you'll get an error. Yeah, you have to convert. So casting is what that conversion is referred to, at least in Java. I'm pretty sure that's the same. Customer flavor. Yeah, not size. That's correct. Oh. Well, I guess it makes sense that you contribute as well. Alright, and now if I run this, it should work. So S, that's L. Flavor number. That's a good number. 1. Yeah, so you get this. Did you run it? Yeah, I just did. And it worked. Worked like a charm. Right. Yeah. Well, I guess. Well, to be honest, I expected something more complicated, so I am a little bit disappointed. But if you want something else solved, please come with something more interesting, because this was a little bit too trivial. Well, I guess it illustrates some still in the beginning units. Yeah, I guess so. It makes sense. So yeah, the key things, I guess you were missing that this is how you access values inside the list or the dictionary. But in the case of a dictionary, the key that is used is, well, could be anything, could be a string, could be a number. I just can't find any help. How come? Like, don't you have classmates that are good at programming? Like, you're studying cybersecurity, I imagine it's full of... How do you add sizes and ice creams list in the same print? Oh, combine... oh, I guess you can do this. No, it is kind of like this. So plus sign does the magic where it adds strings together, but you need to keep like this. Imagine. Well, this will work. It's not a really nice way to do this, but it will work. So it will have size, price, and then the next line will have the flavor. And if I run this, oh, it's already running. I just can't see it because right. So L, And flavor, let's say vanilla. So yeah, now you see it's size like this. Oh yeah. Well, I guess you can add like whatever you like. Or maybe a comma would make more sense. So you have L7 for vanilla. So you have serving size, price this. Well, actually, it would be, I guess it would be nicer if you just have a dash. Right? Because it is kind of obvious what it is. It has a $sign in front of it, so it doesn't take a genius to figure out that that's a price. Let's see. Yeah, like this. Well, but it's just the matter, like you... Would I just plus? Well, plus is a special character in forming strings. I was about to rant because I do the same thing. That's what I like. This is pretty odd coincidence because I was just ranting how I shouldn't be doing this. Because you see, like when I do like form a string, I use plus signs as well. Learning new language. To me, this is amazing, even if it's easy for others. Well, I'm not really. Oh yeah, that's great. I'm not. I'm not. What would be the expression? I'm not looking down on someone who doesn't really. Well, who's learning something new. Like, but the amazing thing that I found was I was just ranting about this. What I was doing? Right here. I am basically making a string out of title, then I add like these characters. For example, if you want something to be printed over multiple lines, like this is a special character you can use. For example, if I take this /n and put it in your code here, well, not like this, like it could be like a normal string. So what will happen, it actually will, this is a new line character, a special character. So, well, there's a bunch of them when you think /t will print out a tab. So if we run this again, enter L, number, you see, it printed the price in the new line, even though everything here was printed out in a single line. And another special character put down a tab in front of it, a tab character. So you see one big character at the end. Hopefully that's, yeah, that is visible on stream. Yeah, it's like formatting characters, yes. So that's what I am doing here in my Discord bot as well. And I was complaining because using plus signs is not really the best way. The method, it has a separate method. Combine? What was it? Okay, I don't remember. I was just reading about it. Oh. Search. What I was looking before. Nothing. I am lost. Did I close it? Okay, I guess I did. Was that method? Add? No, not add. Join. Right, it has join, but join works in a different way. Oh right, yeah, join doesn't work. Join does a different thing. You might think it, if I put join, it will join. Yeah, it takes iterable, which means just like an array or something that has multiple elements in it that you can iterate over. So if I put down a list, so what it will actually, like you would expect a title to be joined to something else, but no, what will happen, it will add every element like this, or in this array. Oh, actually I can indeed show here, this would be cool. Your code is more suited for showcasing different behaviors. So, right, what would be a good example? Let's see your input. Font size. Oh, customer size. So you would expect. So if I do this and join, and I give an iterable this ice cream list, because lists are iterable, so you can. So what you would expect is this to be joined with ice cream's list somehow. But what it actually does, it adds all of these elements and puts this as a separator. So you would have vanilla S, chocolate S, strawberry S, and so on. Well, S, M, or L, depending on what you actually input. Customer input join, and let's just print it out. Yeah, I guess I can print it out at the end. Print. So I was kind of disappointed that there isn't a better way to do strings. Okay, let's do L5. Yes, and it actually didn't do that. Wow. What did they do? Printed out blueberry, which is somewhere in the list. What? Oh, these are Oh, Blueberry Crunch. Okay, so Blueberry Crunch, then it put down an L, because that's what okay, so it actually did what okay, I'm just blind. Yeah, so it put L's in between those as a separator. Yeah, so it is a class. Well, you're supposed to use it a little bit differently. So it's supposed to be used, for example, if I put down, instead of L, I enter like semicolon. I guess it will crash now, yeah. Put it ahead of this, so it won't crash, because it tries to get a value out of the dictionary that doesn't exist and tries to print it out, so it complains about that. But if I put down this, whatever is here, it still complains. Which line? Which line? Oh, it tries. Nice. Okay, this will work. Now it should work. So I put down, yeah, and now you see it puts down a semicolon in between. So this is like an easy way to print out a bunch of values with like a separator in between them. So I'm not sure why would they need to have that in a standard library, but do. They don't seem to have a method to connect to safely add a couple of strings together, but in Java they do, but in Python apparently they don't. So I guess they just use plus signs. I guess I will be using plus signs as well. I just thought it's a bad practice to use plus signs to get to form strings. But yeah, couldn't find anything better so far. Right, I guess we're done with your exercise. Hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, I'm gonna input the code you helped me with. Okay, you do that and I'll try to figure out what I was actually doing before that. But thank you. Well, it's your welcome. No problem. Thank you for the follow. So, I see, well, you see, I only have 27 at this point. I had 25 before you followed me, so I'm lurking. Okay, thank you for well, just keep in mind that I talk a lot. It doesn't matter if anyone's looking or watching or not. I just talk and talk and talk, so it doesn't mean I expect someone to interact with me. I just usually, well, I got into a habit of just saying what's on my mind, what I'm thinking about, and when I'm writing code, like all the code stuff, why and what. Right. Listening, don't worry. Yeah, that's that. Okay, that's good. So yeah, title. So get options title. Oh yeah, so before the title, I need to check if there are. Oh yeah, I check if there were any errors, and if there was an error, I need to go through all the errors. And errors would be what? That's a good question. Need to figure out what kind of errors, what the errors will be. I just know that I'll need to iterate through error in it's very similar to that example code as well. Like it uses the same things. So for errors in self context, text errors. So now I have individual errors, and each error would need to be in a separate line. I need to, well, say, time to go back to the spaghetti code. I don't really remember how I did that error printing. So here it is. Okay, let's see. Errors. So how it does that? Okay, it starts with an empty string. Okay, it checks length of some magic thing in the configuration is more than 44. What the hell? Whatever. Error message. Name too long. Okay. I guess though this is the the labels of actual errors. Okay. If alliances in config and length more than 19. Oh, so it just validates that the input wasn't too long. Okay. And it starts concatenating them. And how does it make it so the errors? Okay, validate battlebot config. It's called here. Errors is then. Oh, diff. So this is what I'm looking for. Right, I need to do this. So this piece of magic string makes your code red, well, your text red in Discord. So that's what I'm using it. Actually, it means something else, but it doesn't really matter. the most useful part about it, it makes your text red. So there's like a little bit of color. So yeah, so red is like where was it? I have it. Yeah, so red like this. Well, it doesn't make it only red, it also puts like a border around it, which I guess I don't really need, but I guess if it is there, not really much I can do about it. Oh, okay. So I should go through all the errors and eventually add them here. Okay, so how should I do this? So from each error, so errors. Oh, I hate that I'm doing the same thing that's been done there. Right. Now for each error, what is the error called? So because this is basically, what did I find? Define it as a list. I guess errors could be saved in a separate, like if I look at my translations file, so yeah, it could have a separate section for errors. Yeah, let's do that. Define errors, and let's say generic invalid option. And what I wanted to say is selected option does not exist. Try again. Yeah, that should work. So because of the way I set up all the singleton and all the property loading, I just have a ready to use access to all of this. So errors will actually be plus equal. Oh, if you're still watching, I can show you one improvement you should be using instead of what you wrote. Yeah, this is not how it usually. Well, there is a simpler way to do this. So counter, you should be, well, plus equal 1 will be the same thing as this. So you wouldn't have to write counter twice. There's a shorthand for this because it's such a common thing where you need to add certain amount to something. So yeah, this will work the same way now. So if I run it, yeah, you see it prints out the values the same way. Yeah, so this is, well, okay. That's all. Do you need the counter? Otherwise, yeah, so this is not necessary as well. Oh, okay, whatever. This is a small improvement I wanted to mention, because I'm doing the same thing pretty much. So I would need to do counter. Wouldn't need, yeah. So instead of counter equal counter plus 1, it is counter plus equal 1. So it means it will add and assign the value as well. So because it's such a common operation, like languages have dedicated features for that. So this is the way Python does it. Other languages have other ways to do it, but more of, I guess it is kind of a standard way now, because I think in C++ it's done the same way. In Java, I think it's done the same way. Oh no, in C++ you actually write plus plus. I guess that's on brand. Because yeah, C++, in C++, if you wanted to do the same thing, you would write plus plus. So counter plus plus would mean increase the counter by 1 in C++, but okay, this is not C++. In Python it's like this, and you can actually iterate by however much you want. So yeah, so by 2 it will increase by 2. Well, but you get the point. Right, back to the menu. So yeah, this is, well, it works with strings as well. For example, what I'm doing, I'm using the same syntax, but since I'm not increasing a number, well, plus sign works for strings, but it does a different thing. It connects to strings. It makes one string out of multiple other strings. Right. How do I separate things? What do you mean separate? I'm gonna share the code I use. Okay. We can do this again. Yeah, source control would be so much useful. What do you use to actually, what do you code in? What do they give you to code in? cprint. Let's open this cheating thing. Okay, so you print total, and you do this and this. So you want to separate what? Use PyCharm. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Your total is, so total is. So total assumes you did some calculations, which when you run it, it comes out together. Well, you did it together. Oh, ice cream price and this. So you want to, well, this is what you're missing. You need to add a string in between. I think that's what you mean. So you need to plus and have something like a little bit of space to separate them. I think that's what you mean. Your cone size and flavor. No? The size and flavor is stuck together. Oh, what? Size and flavor, yeah. Yeah, this will do the thing. See? Strawberry will be up shortly. Oh no. Where is it? total is flavor. I cone size. Total licking. Oh, so this is where the okay. So yeah, so well, if I enter this, you'll see. I think this is what you mean. Like this is what you want. I just don't. It's not that easy to read, and I'm not the one who like. I'm all for using these odd names, like funny names. I completely get it, but when it's someone else that needs to read your code, then it can become a little bit confusing. Oh, it comes out smallish vanilla instead. Yeah, so that's what you're missing. Like you need to add this part in your code. Like your code is like this. You see? Because imagine this, like, well, there are a couple of ways to do this. If you don't want to insert something in between them, you can actually do this in the definition as well. So if you did smallish, so put down a space here, and it will work the same way. So now it won't be stuck because there's actually, well, the space after the size will be part of its part of that string. Or if you don't want to do that, or this is predefined, you will have to add something in between, like a comma, for example. So there are a couple of ways to do this. I'm not sure which one of those is more appropriate for you. But yeah, so yeah, now it puts down a comma and a space. You need to be quite precise with how this works, because it doesn't care what's inside. It's very dumb, the connection of the strings. Yeah, you could use both. So use either, use both. Like put down a space after this and something else here. Well, I don't know. Put down something funny. That always works. Well, unless it doesn't, then no. Then then the lecturer doesn't get your joke, you know. Yeah, so I'm doing the same thing here, and my translations are in sing or singleton. Then I get labels, and labels language. So what is a language? Wait, I'm adding a space and it's not working. I'm adding a comma. Yeah, this looks right, but you need to keep in mind that you need pluses either side beyond the actual string you're adding, because like if you take a look at this, like it has plus. Like this has to be added to this, then this has to be added to this little separator, and then it needs to be added, continue to be added. Your original code didn't have, oh, it was like this, so it was missing one of the pluses. So it was like that. So don't miss this. Well, otherwise, well, in that case it will say that it doesn't understand what you want from it. Because print doesn't take, well, it's supposed to be one string. Yeah. Right, and labels, where did I save language? Yeah, I was missing S. Yeah, that's easy to miss. Well, it's yeah, it is kind of you know, odd. Well, I guess it's not odd when you get used to it. Like it kind of feels natural that you need to use pluses. Like you have to be very specific with programming. That's like, yes. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. I'll, you know, looking. Considering how much mess I had to go through myself, like, this is nothing. If you look at this nonsense, this is horrible. And like, look at this if tree. Configuring a bot. Configuring Killbot. This is configuring one of the bots, and it has like a tree of magic values. Like, these are all language selection, I guess. Oh, it's terrible, terrible. Oh, actually, well, okay, don't. The rewritten version is a lot cleaner. So this is the same, but it's separated into like what, 10 files at this point, and it's still not fully implemented. I'm working on the implementation so far. So yeah, but I like puzzles. There is actually a very funny stream where I slept for like 3-4 hours and decided it's a good idea to stream programming because one of my viewers asked for that. And what happened was I went into the website. I don't remember, whatever. I don't remember the actual name. I know it had hacker in the name, just to sound cooler, I guess. You're extremely helpful. Oh, thank you. That's a nice that's a nice comment. It's a nice compliment. That's what I meant, not a compliment. As I said, English is not my first language, so you know. Sometimes I need to look around for the word I actually need. So yeah, what happened on that stream? It was quite funny because I went on that website to solve some algorithm puzzles. Like it, kind of want to find it now. I don't really think it will be possible. Hacker puzzles, algorithm puzzles. Slot, YouTube, no. Puzzles. HackerRank, yeah, that's the website. So yeah, I went on this, and so there are a bunch of challenges. So if you want to learn on your own, like, this is a very good website. Let's see, solve me first. So you just select it and ask me to log in. I don't remember what's my... Well, it doesn't really matter. Oh, actually lets me do that without logging in. Okay, well, that's fine. So it gives you a problem and a solution, and there should be a way to... Oh yeah, so you can actually write code on the website and just run it and submit the code and see your results. So it has a bunch of tests it runs and see. So I went on this and I thought, okay, for a warm-up I'll take a simple problem to solve, and the problem I got is to check if the given number is a leap year. So you expect a year as an input, so a number, and it gives you definition of leap year. So leap year is if it's every fourth year is a leap year, except when it is 100. If it's divisible by 100, then it doesn't. Then it's not a leap year, except when it's divisible by 400. Then it's a leap year again. So all of these you need to implement with different if statements, and that took me like half an hour to do, because I was so sleep deprived that yeah, it was quite a challenge. Well, it ended up being that I did a typo and I just didn't see it for half an hour that it was a typo, and I just couldn't figure out why it's not working. But yeah, I don't even know what I was what I was trying to say at the beginning. But yeah, this is a good website, HackerRank. I can definitely recommend it. It has very interesting... Some of the puzzles, like the other one that I did after that, just to... as a sanity check, if I'm this bad that I can't even make a simple algorithm to check if the given year is a leap year, I decided to do a more complicated one, and that one I solved really fast, and it was like gives you two arrays, and you need to figure out, like, one array has all the numbers in one array are numbers you can divide the solutions in, solution by, so, or the solution is an array as well, and all the values in the array are divisible by the first array, and the solution array is also so there's two arrays as an input. So second array, the solution, like all the values in the second array are divisible by the solution, and the solution values are also all divisible by all the values in the first array. So that was the second problem I solved, and that one I solved really fast. And so I'm not as terrible. It took me quite a long time to figure out the actual what's the name of it? What do they give you at the very beginning? Oh, not this. Not example, description. Yeah, so to function description. So get the description, because it was all worded in mathematical language, and yeah, so figuring that out took me a while, but after that, and yeah, it was very easy to figure out an algorithm. Alright, but it is definitely a cool website if you just wanna learn some concepts about, like, loops, ifs, and so on. Yeah, well, I think where was I? My code. An error here. So okay, so labels. Where do I actually keep the language? Language. I have a language. Use W3 schools. W3 schools is something I used when I was learning, like back in the university, like more than 10 years ago. At this point. But yeah, so yeah, I remember using it myself, and yeah, it definitely is cool. But it's a lot more interesting when you have a problem that you want to solve, because W3 schools is more focused on examples, how a certain function works, how and the HackerRank is more about solving problems. So W3 schools usually explains what this statement or this label, or what some concept, what it does, and then it asks you to implement it in or gives you an example of its implementation to play around, to see, like, how can you modify it, and so on. And HackerRank gives you a problem and asks you to solve it. So I guess it's just a different style. Oh, I need something to drink. To pour some water. Yeah, staying hydrated is important. So I actually have language, the menu itself, lang. Then I need to select a section. I have a classifier for all the sections. Well, the function has sections. How did I name it? Errors. I guess I can do the same here. Menus. Doesn't feel right to put down errors, but errors. String as value errors. Amazing. I think I'll just make a comment that this is meant to hold translations errors, because all the rest of the values are actually meant to indicate different types of menus. And yeah, this lit will be way longer. Now it's only has a couple of values. Right. So now to access this, where was it? In classifiers? I have actually classifiers. Okay, classes. Classes, then classifiers. then menus, and then errors. Somehow that doesn't feel right. Oh yeah, import this. So I don't need this, all of this. Okay, so errors, and now the error itself. So yeah, this will be the actual table. So yeah, this will get the error. I guess now it's time to test this. The error dash. I think this is how I define all of my errors in the old code. The before days. I think I could find them here somewhere. Maybe I can't. I'm sure they had errors. Oh yeah, here are errors. Yeah, so I have this error thing. Guess I can reuse it. Keep the style. This. Generic invalid option. Invalid, okay. Yeah, this not being able to use capital letters is a little bit annoying sometimes. Let's see. So now, where is I read inputs? Your list. Okay, so I think this get text options list. There's handle input. I think yeah, this is the one. So when it handles the message, the user input, and in case, so yeah, text is in this. So basically, yeah, this checks if the text that was inputted is actually in menu items. So whatever was listed before, if it has the input you entered, and in this case, if it doesn't, before it returns itself, it should assign to context. Oh no, self context. Context errors. I will assign this error. Menu fields. Should I get the value? How should I store the actual string? Maybe I need a classifier for errors. I think that's let's define a new class. Because I imagine I will use the same error quite a few times. Like in different menus, you could have like similar inputs and errors, similar errors done as well. So you don't want to define them in separate menus. So you would rather have them like centralized. So what was the name of it? Generic input, generic validation option, generic invalid option, and let's make it uppercase to indicate that this is a classifier. This is just for the sake of consistency. Now, where is it? Now in the menu, here, takes S errors. Doesn't find it because it hasn't been imported. Import it real quick. Right here. Yes, errors, and now generic option, generic invalid option. Oh, actually, I don't. Yeah, this gives me an idea. I shouldn't just have them as one word. Language. Yeah, I should have these underscore selection menu. Yeah, this makes more sense. Really forgot about this. Generic valid option. Yeah, so this is just all for readability's sake. So yeah, if it doesn't find an option, it just assigns an error, and this part checks if the errors exist. If they do, oh yeah, I didn't finish this. So yeah, it adds errors and title. Oh, so this is the beginning of it. Okay. Oh, so this should only be done if it actually has errors. So plus equal, we'll add this part. After that, it will continue and add the rest. I think it's ready to be tested. So what I expect when I actually run it in my test configuration bot. Okay, let's see if it crashes. It didn't crash. So now I expect if I input something that's nonsensical, let's try selecting an option 4. Should print out, oh, it crashed. Oh, what's wrong with it? Get option titles, E error G. What? How did it got G? Where did the G come from? Select labels, get options. G doesn't really make sense. Labels. Which one of them is G? Context errors. The list. Oh, I think I did it wrong. Yeah. Well, it doesn't solve. I have no idea still where the G come from, but if I find an error while validating input, where is it? Here it doesn't. It has to have. It should be in a list because it is defined as a list. Here, the context. So I guess list solves it. Hopefully that solves G as well. G, I don't know where that came from. Okay, 5. Okay, it still finds the G, but this time I have no idea why it's G. So for each errors, I guess the definition can be moved into the if. So which one of you is G? Okay, this is errors. Language. Can language be G? I use language so much. Yeah, I don't think the language is G. Get options title. Somehow this is okay. I guess we need to go into debug mode. Not really making much sense to me at this point. Debug perspective. And where is the breakpoints? So breakpoints. I have way too many breakpoints. Where was the last one? Handle user input. Oh, here. Okay. Clear all the breakpoints. And one here. Okay. Run and debug. Do this. 5. Oh yeah, it stopped. Okay. So where does the G come from? Errors. Oh. G. Generic What? Oh. Oh, it guess that's how list gets constructed from a string. Just explodes it into a different. Okay. Well, I guess there's an easy problem to an easy solution to this problem I have. If I change this definition, okay, I don't like using not get options here. Okay, so instead of list, let's define it as list like this. So it will be actually, this is the element of the list, sole element. It shouldn't have any other errors at this point. Yeah. Okay. Now it should work. Yay! I got an error message in red. I was supposed to. Nice. So now I have a class, a menu class that can actually output errors, which is cool. This is a new option. Got a bit too excited. Calm down, it's only an error message. You've seen so many. What is this? Oh. Okay, this is not supposed to be. Not supposed to be here. Where do you come from? Here. It's like I messed something up with all my copy pasting. They somehow lost slash. Or is it backslash? I think this is a backslash. I don't care enough to remember which one is which. I just use the approach of, well, use one, if it doesn't work, use the other one. Basic trial and error. Best practices. Right. Okay, so errors are done. So I actually can get to the point of this whole stream was to actually implement language selection menu. So, right. Where should I save the label? So it used to be like this. Well, the name of the language was assigned to language, which is fine. But now, what kind of section it should be in? Like, doesn't really matter, but no. Something simple. I think there is a default one, but I don't really want to use default. Well, default is default. It's used in all examples, and I think it has some special functionality that I don't really care for at the moment. I don't even care to go and look what that special functionality is. So I guess I just named, and it will just hold names. Yeah. So something that is not specific to a certain menu can go here. So for example, language. Well, language is specific to the language selection menu. Maybe that's what I should be doing. Oh no, actually it has a bunch of things. Oh yeah, it lists things. Name and list. Oh yeah, this is what you see. Select a language. A title. Language. Select your preferred language. Okay. And description has nothing. Well, this is kind of enough, I guess. Oh, wait, what happens if it doesn't have a description? Oh, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't matter. I look. I print out errors before the list title. 90% sure that's how it works. Errors. Options title. Options title. Self options title. Its value here. List title. So I call it options title. This is inconsistent. Don't appreciate. Okay, let's fix that because I can't stand it. Options title, it should be list title. Actually, options title is probably the correct term. Maybe I should fix this. Yeah, let's change this. Yeah, consistency is bad. This title, options title. Because the options could be anything. It could be a list of something, a list of options, but yeah, not necessarily. Options title, list title. I guess this can stay. And this is just in the code, it will be referred a little bit differently. Yeah. Right. What I was doing. Oh, getting distracted. 101. Right, languages. So it has a language. Each file will have this defined names and language. So all I need to do is all of my supported languages, the respective translation files. I need to do this. So the actual language is Spanish. Isn't Spanish something else in Spanish? Shouldn't be Espanol or something like that. Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Portuguese as well. Russian is proper Russian. What? Guess there's something to fix. How is Spanish in Spanish? Translate for me, Google. Translate Google.com. That's right. Spanish from English to Spanish. Espanol. It's actually written with an odd N. Okay. So it should be this Spanish file. Lingua. Yeah, so I use proper Spanish and then okay, well, no one even commented me about this. And this in Portuguese. 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 What does this mean? Built by contributors, okay. I guess I'll trust it in that case. And Russian looks normal. Well, because I read Russian, so I know that it is correct. Don't need to check it. Oh, not correct. Becoming a lot messier than I expected. Should have done this in stages, so make sure that you have the label first. Go through the labels. Label this. So I think I only support 4 languages in the configuration bot itself, so this should be now Portuguese. The only one missing the language thing. Yeah, okay. All of these will have language. So now, okay, so the actual values are in. Now how do I actually make the menu? Right. So when initialized, also concept. What is this? This is nonsense. I need to get rid of this. Menu item IDs. Oh, it passes along an empty list. Because I think that's what it expects. Yeah, now it accepts context. Context is kind of important. It's used quite a bit. I guess it's not used actually. Oh, handle input and get options list. So yeah, these methods are different. The language menu. Okay. So in that case, why have it done like this? I have no idea. So let's pass no context. I guess it doesn't really need context. It might need in the future though. Yeah, that is true. If I want to implement like buttons like back, it kinda needs to know where back is. So that kind of information would be in the context. But that's not today. Right. Text options list. So it creates all of this. Right. So menu list will be constructed of. So it suddenly has menu list. Menu list has items. Who assigns those items? It doesn't really. Right, so I need in the right. Guess this is a unique case. Yeah, well, the standard way doesn't work. I like that I implement a base class for menus, and the first implementation is already an exception. So it only works in the start menu for now. The actual menu gets used. I guess I need them to, well, I need to assign the actual language list as options. How do I want to do this? Right. I think I have a mechanism for this. Yes, definitely done this before. Not really sure where it's where that. Well, it's not that I've done this before. Oh, I think I've seen it done before somewhere in this code. So I've done it, but long time ago. Not recently. That's what I meant. Let's see. Handle put get text. So because the idea is the thing I'm struggling with is that I need to pass along a method who will handle the input. Well, who will handle the actual changing the language. So there needs to be a method defined for that. You can close these. It's getting a little bit cramped here. Hard to see. Helper don't really need it. Language menu. So yeah, I think this is the one that should handle it. User language menu. So this gets called when you for selecting the menu, the select language menu from the start menu. Right. So now I need to define a method I guess I need a validation method first. Yeah. So, actually, I don't really need it. The generic validation will be fine. Yeah. Because it's only a number. You get a list of languages and yeah, you just enter correct number. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So I think, yeah, I don't even need that. What I actually need is to actually change the language. Update user language. And what I need is user type user. It's not a variable. It's in classes, yeah, it is in classes. I think, yeah, that's the user that gets passed along. Okay. Classes, classifiers, and from classes, form from port user. But we'll be aware of the existence of such thing. User selection or whatever. It knows what I mean. Hopefully. So I need the user and the selected language. Yeah. Right. Right, what I was doing? Did user language. Right. So when I select, user, and I need a value, but the value should be the shorthand. Can I get it? Or input language. Right. Key menu items. Where does menu items come from? I'm not really sure at this point. This is getting used here, menu items. It's in the context. Context is classes, menu context. Oh, menu items is actually a dictionary. Completely forgot about that. The dictionary gets items set like object. Right. It feels numb at this point. Well, it's not too complicated, but it's too many things to keep track of. Need to start over because I just lost track. So language menu gets initiated where? The start menu. So yeah, it calls init, it creates an instance of the menu using these parameters without anything as menu context. So it has no context, but then it uses menu items, which is in the context, which is part of the context. Yeah, because now it's assigned to the context, and this is right. Yeah, let's. Oh yeah, the super has to be one of the first call we make. I think it will complain if I do this differently. Let's see. Is the context equals instance of menu context. Menu items. Items is a dictionary, so let's initiate a new dictionary. So for each, so we iterate over languages. So right, all languages are singleton, tables, keys. So these will be the languages. So for each language, single label keys, we section label. Yeah, we know both. Right. Yes, I need. Isn't the dictionary's menu items ID used as a value? Yeah, menu items. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. So this is what actually is being asked to input. So yeah, let's have an I equal 0, I guess, begin with. So here I plus equal 1, increased by 1, begin with. Why? Oh, for a right. Yeah, menu items. Let's insert a value, convert this I to string, assign singleton tables, then oh yeah, actually use language, each language, and each language uses the keyword errors. Where was it? I'm sure I had it somewhere. So this is for errors. Oh, I only defined it here. I don't really add it to any classifier. Okay. Where is it? Did I close it? Yes, I did. English. Names. Which classifier should have this? Errors, menu fields, menus. Yes, names. Well, yeah, this doesn't really match any of this. So I need a new classifier. Let's have it at the beginning. C class. How to name this? Eric's? Eric. We'll have a bunch of generic values, names. Names. String equal to name. Names. Okay, hopefully I didn't make a typo, which is 50-50. Right. Now it actually have a value you can use from classifiers. I need to import this as well now. Generic. Generic names. Right. Menu items. We'll assign a number. Right. So this is all good. When it's done, so context. Yeah. Items will be actually the name of the variable as well. Items equals, let's rename this to something else. Languages. Language. Yeah, let's have languages. I think that fits. What? Here. Right. So it assigns this to the context and then it passes along to the super. I think it will complain that the super is called after some code. I don't remember when you're supposed to call super. Super is like it's a special method. You can't call it willy-nilly. Oh yeah, languages context. Alright, and now when you get options list, can use key and pair from menu items, so self context, text, items. Doesn't actually need anything special. Pretty sure it can use the same thing as the default menu. I don't think I actually reworked it. So it goes through menu items. Oh, so it gets the pair and uses key. Oh, so item actually gets translation. Oh, so this part is different actually. It doesn't work. And I already have translations. Or do I? Yeah, I think. I guess all of this could be moved to get text options actually. But it would be nice to have context here already instead of none. Okay, let's see if this actually crashes. I'm pretty sure it will crash because super is not called at the correct time. It's by Python compiler. An expected end of file. Hit user language. What happened here? Oh, this was supposed to be a method. handle user change of language. So this should be language. No. Language as a string. For now, let's make it do nothing. So let me run this. At which point it will crash. Oh, wrong. What? Oh, flagged. It's returning back to the same menu. That doesn't sound right. Menu. T. Start menu. So it's all in the helper. This doesn't sound right. What the hell? It's even work. Okay, and I select 3. Okay, now it crashed. Okay, so guess I messed something up previous time. Oh, it takes 2 arguments and 5 were given. Oh yeah, it doesn't take messages anymore. Most to take more parameters until or what? This isn't right. If it's expecting 5 parameters, at most 2 arguments. Okay, let's try running it again. Let's see if anything changes. See how this will fix it. Yeah, 4 were given and it expects 2 of them. Why does it? Messages is not needed as well. Yeah, so when language menu gets initiated, it's useless. This is not needed as well. The language. A mapped method. The language menu, user language menu. Huh. The mapping handling user input. Function mapping gives labels. Oh, so I guess it does messages. No, it doesn't. Why? Why would I need? Makes sense. All the labels are accessible through singleton. Why do I pass it around? Thoroughly. Then the user is given. Oh, and then additional parameters. So user is not optional. So user is always passed along. Okay. But this doesn't really help me. So it takes menu ID and the U. Fine. Takes 2 arguments and 4 were given. Legend. Makes sense. I guess the super being called at the wrong time, maybe it messes it up. Struggling to actually understand why it's error. Yeah, how is this two parameters? X at most two arguments. Wait. Oh, this is right. X menu identity user and context gets created. So that's fine. Stand. Okay, let's comment this out. Set this to none. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so this is the menu. Calls menu class. Oh, it initiates menu class. It's not really working. So super doesn't. What? Why? Debug and title it. Don Samuel the one. It will be a minute, okay. Well, I'll be here for like half an hour, hopefully. I ran into a problem that I'm not really sure how to solve. Okay. Other language. How is that? Okay, now it's being called in right off the bat. Oh, this is just the definition, okay. Doesn't actually do anything. Now I select and it's okay. So class super. That's not how you call super, maybe? Super. Yeah, maybe I don't understand something about the super method. Let's see. Returns a proxy object that delegates method calls to parent or sibling class type. Useful for accessing inherited methods that have been overridden. For example, object and the value blah blah blah. So do you actually need to say super in it? Okay. Port lots dictionary. Yeah, it's not related, I guess. This call looks like this. Super method call. So how do I call the method? Okay, so it looks like I'm using it wrong. A little bit odd how it's supposed to be. Not really used to this type of hierarchy. It has to be super. Then init. Menu ID user context. This. Menu ID is right. Yeah, because from the look of it, it's calling itself. They call super it. I think that's what's happening. Start it. But we'll just have it here somewhere so I can start it a little bit easier. Oh, so first argument has to be type, not language menu. So language menu itself. The language menu is what? Okay, I have to Google this because I have no idea. Let's do a quick search first in documentation. Inheritance. The classes. Inheritance. Even explained. Inheritance, okay. That's how you inherit. Multiple inheritance. Mapping class inherits from mapping, and that's overrides a method, okay. And then generators. Yes. Super. Have it? Doesn't even mention super. Or it does mention. In fact, it's slightly more complex than that. The method solution order changes dynamically. Port cooperative calls to super. Okay. And back to this. Don't really want to call. Wait, is it saying that I don't need self here? I just add self. Where's first variable? I'm a little bit confused. Quite a lot. Okay, it takes 4, but 5 was. Yeah, I can't figure out by myself how to actually use this the way I want, at least. Okay. I guess time to go to the broader Google. Calling parent constructor Python. First link. I don't care. Super init. So you don't pass along self at any point. Okay, try that. Self. That was close. Only it counted. So let's see if it's actually true. Okay, now it complains about something else. So I guess it was the issue. Now when I select translations. Oh yeah, it's looking for a translation language section. Get options list. So correct. Right. How can I fix this? Because I need to know the selection, the ID. Well, I guess when I initialize the handling, we'll have variables to pass along. Yeah, so that would be... Oh, it's actually gonna be here. Ah. Probably have it here added to the context as well for future use. So menu item, dictionary. Yeah, menu item variables. What I want. Yeah, I guess it is for a different option. And I need to add variable, which is added the same way. I equal singleton equals. No, it's actually language. Yeah. The actual language selection, which will be the keyword I need, which will be saved in the... Right. Oh. Item. Oh, context menu. Next. Items. Item variables. So self context. Oh no, I starting context here, I'm dumb. Okay. Item variable. It's not a dictionary. A simple thing. Takes so much effort. And then when I'm constructing it, I have menu items and I have menu item variables. And not good, the names are the same again. You just name them language section. guess it doesn't really matter. It's not descriptive either way. Target land multiple menu item action. All initialization with that. Now, how do I get the context? So the actual error was hashable type dictionary. That matter. Translation. Also, translation cannot be found for a dictionary value. Okay. Well, the translation, we don't need to get the translation. Translation is already here. String key for menu items is the key, and this is superfluous. Cool. This is way too complicated. More complicated than it has to be. So, item. It's supposed to be the actual language. Right. So now it should actually list languages. So, what? Run it. It doesn't have to be full screen. Right. Still didn't work. Context. For target menu item variables. Menu context doesn't have what? Item variables is not expected value? No. Okay, well, expected unexpected. Do it differently than context. Item variables equal selection. Oh, so if it has to be this way, not really sure why it should be this way, but I'm getting tired and I want us to start working. Starting to care less and less. Okay, not a get text options list. Menu items is not a dictionary. Then and it has to be a dictionary. Oh, it should be the string. It expects it to be a string. Menu can only be string, not dictionary. Type error. So bold key, not a dictionary. Sure. Plus menu item. I guess menu item is a dictionary somehow. Items. Okay, I guess time to do another breakpoint. Mixing up the types somehow. Right. So let's take a look at the context, self context. We have menu items, dictionary. Oh. They just sign language as if it's yeah, these are dictionaries. Right. So I need the actual... Language, label. So this is the label. Wait. That doesn't make sense. Again. I can make a breakpoint here. Actually creating it. Make sure that the Simon's right. So for each language, but now the language is part of the keys. Show me the variable. So language, yes, so it's a string. So languages just got updated. Add a dictionary. File. It has login configuration, it has everything. So English. Oh. Right. Not how it's supposed to be done. I'm missing something. So I pick a language, I have a section. Section is this. And then I have a standard variable as well. I'm missing that. Language. Name's name. Language. String. That's gonna be it. This will solve it. Hopefully this will solve it. It's generic language. So both the section and the name is generic of the field. Right. The only variable is language itself, which is very high up in the tree of dictionaries. Seemed like it had way too much configuration assigned to it. Okay. I don't wanna really risk run debug again. Yeah. Again. Okay, now it stopped. Language is good. Languages. Yeah, so it actually finds a string now. This is good. So run that. Now list. Fine. Hey, and it worked. Finally. The best part is if I enter some nonsense. Oh, doesn't get handled automatically. Well, items. Oh, it is handling input bytes. Oh, so not the default handler is input. which I don't think is the right option. I'm pretty sure the default handler can do that. I don't really see what has to be different about handling the input for language menu. Yeah, but I think I'm done for today. Tomorrow I will have to implement the actual saving choice. Yeah, this this was painful enough. Well, I guess it has there are some growing pains. Yeah, well, I guess it could have been smoother, but team commit. What I actually init parse all this language menu and singleton. Okay, all of these have been updated today. Shell language selection menu. Okay. Let's take a look. And yeah, and otherwise it looks good. I don't really like these two spaces. I think I need to change so if there's no description, it will skip, like it make, well, this line won't be even entered. The get description, self description. So when description is just non-existent. Oh, return so and so if self title. It should be description, because now it checks if the title exists, and title, well, likely. Okay, let's try doing this again. Pretty sure this will fix it. Because I remember having this issue before, I just couldn't manage to find what's wrong with it, and now it looks kind of obvious. Yeah, so now it doesn't have the text line, so it was just checking the wrong thing. Okay, well, I guess it is what it is, and I'm done for today. Tomorrow I'll finish this off with saving, connected to the database, saving the new value, and oh yeah, I also need to change the user's context. I guess it could be a good time to implement user's context as well. We'll see. Yeah, well, yeah. Right. There's then button.